Welcome to the Headspace and Tasting Podcast, where we talk manhood, tell stories, and discuss the stuff that matters to us one sip at a time. Hello. How's it going, Kevin?
Good, man. How are you today?
Great. We have a guest joining us today. Repeat guest. Came to the new location. It is James Strong. Welcome.
Gentlemen, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Hello, James.
Hey.
This is the last show you were on was titled Don't Call It Retirement. And you were, 6 months or less in, I think? 6 months in?
Maybe
6 months.
18 months in now.
Yeah. How's it going?
It's all that and then some.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah. No complaints, no regrets. It's every day's Saturday.
No phone calls from the old boss.
I get phone calls from the old place every now and then. Just, hey, what about this guy here? How did this piece of machinery work? How did this work? How did this? And sure, they're my friends, and I offer advice.
You don't send them a bill?
No, they're my buddies. I would never send them a bill. Nah.
I would set up a bill.
Consulting fee. That's what I would call it.
Yep.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, thanks for coming out.
Well, thank you for having me. I shut my podcast down quite some time ago, mainly because, believe it or not, but after I retired, I had less time than I did when I was working.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about last show, that you fill your schedule up with fun travel and adventure, and you're just hitting it hard, huh?
My schedule is unbelievably full, and I never thought it would be this way. I'll give you an example. Just today, I was going to get up at 5 o'clock. I slept until 6.
Nice.
And I did all the stuff I had to do. I went to my shop. I rent a two-bay shop to work on cars. That's my hobby. And number 2 son needed work done on 2 cars. So we did that. I came here, scrubbed the grease off myself, and here I am sipping on a nice bourbon.
Yeah. Allegedly. Yeah, it says bourbon. Okay.
That's what it says on the bottle. And
that's what it says. That's what it claims to be.
Uh-huh.
And we'll get into that here shortly. Do we have anything did we have something we wanted to discuss first?
I have a couple of shout outs.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I had one too. Go ahead. You go first.
Well, first I want to congratulate my daughter, Jenna, because she recently graduated from esthetician school.
Nice.
And this week she took her board exams and passed really well.
Great.
On her scoring. And so now she just has to do her boards, which I think are next week. And when she does that, she'll have her license from the state of Missouri to be a certified esthetician. She's already got a job lined up at a spa. So
is she actually working there now, doing like some kind of apprenticeship, or what's she doing?
A little bit of both. She just did all her paperwork yesterday, Friday. So.
Okay. So if you need, what does she do? Massages, waxing, nails?
Massages, waxing, nails, facials. She does some kind of acid wash something. I don't know what they call these things that they do.
Peel your face off and let it grow back.
But I do know that she was the top graduate of her class.
Of course.
When it came time to lay out all the different additional certificates that you would earn per student, she had 4 of them. Everybody else had maybe 2 at the most.
That's great. And what's
because
her,
she went and specialized in just about anything she could do.
That's awesome. Do you remember her Instagram?
Oh, gosh.
I'm sorry. I should have asked you before we started recording.
Glow with Jenna, I think.
That's it.
Glow with Jenna?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. But if you need to get a hold of her and you can't find her on Instagram, you can hit us up on our Facebook page or email us at showmemk@gmail.com. And we will get you in touch with her.
And that's Glow with no W, G-L-O.
G-L-O with Jenna.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I had one more.
All right.
And I just come from a book signing today. We have a coworker. Her name is Brittany. And she just launched the first book of her trilogy, the Wanderer trilogy. And this book is called Purpose. And so I was there to support her and watch her enjoy herself and being in the spotlight. So congratulations to Brittany and
Brittany Hansen.
Kicking off her authorship.
And the books are on Amazon. I have that book is in my Amazon cart right now.
Cool.
And the hardback edition of it, there's only 1 copy left. So if you're into hardbacks, it might be to get the last one, but there is also paperbacks. I tried to talk her into doing the audio version, And she was like, no, oh no. She had no interest. I said, I got equipment. You could come read the book and we'll record you. And so this offer's still on the table, Brittany, if you want to come record it.
You had something, right?
I do. Yeah. I wanted to thank our listeners in the Detroit, Michigan area. So watching our analytics, we had people listening in Taiwan, Russia, England, Australia. I think there was somebody in South America.
We had Japan.
But
oh yeah, Brazil.
Yeah. So right now we're in the United States. That's it. We're only U.S. Apparently those listeners outside the U.S. fell off the last 30
United
days.
Kingdom.
We do still have one in England. You're right.
Yes.
So one in England. So thank you for listening. But also Royal Oak and Taylor, Michigan, which are both north and south of Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit suburbs.
Yeah. So whoever's up there listening, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And it's a consistent listener.
Yes.
Whoever it is. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that. We'd love to hear from you.
Apparently my son is inconsistent because he dropped off the list.
It's only a 30-day window, so I think he's been busy the last 30 days.
Yeah, he's on deployment, so I can't say where.
Yeah. Okay, so the bourbon we're drinking today, let's get into this. It is the WiseMan American Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, and it says it is guided by wisdom and crafted with knowledge. Coming in at 90.8 proof, and that is 45.4% ABV.
Who's the distiller?
I don't know. Somebody in Kentucky.
It says it on there.
Does?
Yeah.
It says distilled in Kentucky, but bottled by Kentucky Owl.
Yeah.
Out of Lacassine, Louisiana.
So I believe that their bourbons are coming from Bardstown.
Oh, okay.
It is a collection of 4 different bourbons that they mix together. Yeah. So we don't know what the mash bill is.
We don't.
However, I do know that one of them is a 4-year high rye bourbon.
Really?
A 4-year wheated bourbon, a 5.5-year wheated, or 5.5-year and an 8-year bourbon.
I get the wheated, but the rye, I'm not catching. But
well, I think it got overpowered by some of it. We'll get into that when we do the talking.
Okay. James, you're our guest. What do you think? What are you smelling when you smell this? Besides just bourbon,
I'm not a big connoisseur of bourbon. I can tell you this. I like this. The 2 whiskeys that I'll drink, and I rarely drink it straight. I am now, but I'll normally drink whiskey in a Manhattan.
Okay.
So it's mainly a rye is what I'll drink. Rye works best in a Manhattan for me. If I'm going to have it in another type of drink, I'll have Maker's Mark.
Okay.
Which is, I guess, sweeter, maybe.
Sweeter than rye, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but this is good. I like it. It's.
Are you picking out any rye in this at all?
A little spiciness, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, but to be honest, until you said it was partially rye, okay, now I taste it. So it was what I want to say. You suggested it, so then I tasted it. So maybe not.
That's how it works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes.
I'm not picking much up. I do smell some caramel and vanilla coming through, but I think I said this tastes like my, the booze I used to sneak out of Dad's liquor cabinet downstairs, like old Canadian whiskey or something like that. Was what I first tasted. Just like, that just tastes like a blended whiskey to me. Mm. I wouldn't call this a bourbon right off the bat if it just wasn't labeled bourbon. What about you, Kevin?
Well, I picked up the sweetness and the aroma right away. For me, it was honey and citrus were the 2 things that came out. And it kind of lingered back into the palate some, but when it came to tasting it, I was thinking about a spring grassy feel, like wet grass.
Wet grass?
Like fresh wet grass, oak and honey, all combined together.
Okay.
And similar on the finish. It was a little oily. It doesn't hang out too long, but it did have a little bit of an oily feel. More even. It was an even flavor, start to finish. Mm-hmm. And I still had the grassy feeling closing out on it.
Yeah, I got the woody, little bit of charred, and even though it's not very dark, I put this down as like a straw to honey color.
I did right in the middle, straw to honey.
So it's not really aged in a barrel for too long. I wouldn't imagine. It's probably the minimum.
Well, I mean,
or are they just blending those?
It's already blended together. I'm not sure that
it?
they're even continuing the aging process at all. I think they may just be blending and bottling.
Huh, interesting.
Because I mean, the youngest bourbons on here are 4 years.
Yeah.
The oldest is 8. So
now, I am getting oak and some grassy notes on the finish. You agree, James?
Sure.
whatever.
I'm more into wine than I am into bourbon, but sometimes these guys who talk about the wine, it has an essence of old tennis shoes. Which where do they get this stuff?
We get that on the bourbon.
And how is that a good thing?
We had a bourbon we tasted, and we titled the show "Funky Gym Shoes and Dirty Laundry."
Yes,
because that's exactly what it tasted and smelled like. It was disgusting.
And what's funny about that is a month later, 2 weeks later, that distiller went out of business, filed bankruptcy.
Well, rum is like that. A lot of English rums will be that way. They don't say it's disgusting, but the description is disgusting.
Really?
It tastes like old feet, old clothes, smells like an unmade bed.
Well, we're honest in our opinions on these things when we're tasting it. So.
Yeah, sometimes I'll taste something, I was like, man, it just tastes like whiskey to me. Like sometimes all the flavors kind of blend together.
Yeah.
And this is almost there where it's kind of like, it's really hard to pick out. So I'm going to, we'll let it sit in our glass for a bit and see if it, what do they say? It opens up a little bit.
Sure.
One of the funny things about YouTube, because we're on YouTube as well, the Headspace and Tasting podcast, is Funky Gym Shoes and Dirty Laundry is the highest rated show.
Really?
Yes.
It was hard to get through that, like to drink that stuff. And we actually ended up pouring, I think we didn't even finish our glass. We poured them out.
Where's the rest of the bottle?
I dumped it at home. I dumped it out.
Yeah, it was bad.
And they're out of business now.
Yes.
Yeah,
but I kept the bottle because the bottle was cool.
It
had
was
that
really cool
looking
like a skull
topper
on top or something. Wasn't
Yeah, I don't know what that thing was that sat there, like a gargoyle almost.
like a monkey skeleton.
Well, it's funny. That's how a lot of people pick out booze. That's how my wife picks out wine. Oh, the bottle's cool.
Yeah,
okay. Well.
Scotch is really big on that.
Is it?
Yeah, the boxes and you get the fancy metal boxes with the see-through front and everything's decorated. And it's huge marketing.
Is your wife into the wine app where you can go up and just hover the camera in front of the wine bottle and the label itself will start moving and talking to you?
No.
Okay.
I mean, that's a thing, huh?
Oh, it's a thing.
I believe it.
There's many bottles out there you wouldn't even know what it was unless you had the app. And the Prisoner series, Prisoner Wine, is one of them.
Okay.
That does that. The more popular one.
Interesting.
Fun.
Another AI thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So stick through to the end of the show, and we'll give our star ratings at the end. So, James, be thinking about how many stars out of 5 you're going to give.
All right. Okay.
0 through 5.
Okay.
And we don't allow halves.
No half stars.
Quarters?
Nope.
No. I usually round down. If it's a half, I'll round down.
Understood.
Which is actually unscientific. So if you
half stars.
If you have something you're at exactly 0.5.
Well, yeah, you would round
if you are 35.5, right? That's an odd number. So you round up to 36.
Right.
Sure.
But if it's 36.5, you don't round up to 37, you round down to 36.
Really?
That's scientific rounding.
Well, I'm not a scientist, Kevin. These are my rules. This is my house.
I learned that in physics in high school.
Well, I didn't make it to physics. I was busy doing something else.
Welcome to the show, James.
Live mic.
Yeah. So today, the topic we wanted to talk about is, there's a few topics, but first is mentoring versus discipleship. What's the difference between the two? What's been your experience in life with these? And I'm really curious about your thoughts, James, because you have 4 sons. And
I do.
How many grandchildren now?
We're up to 9.
9. Okay. 9 grandkids.
And I spent most of this past week with 4 of the 9.
Oh.
Their parents were off on holiday, and the trophy wife and I watched the grandkids.
Cool.
And since she's still working, I did most of the watching, which was fine. It was
And
great.
the pool's not open yet.
And the
for
pool's
sure.
not open. That's correct.
Man.
That's correct. No, it's fun.
You had
was
some
fun.
decent weather. Get outside. And
It was good weather, actually. Actually, it was very good weather. Monday was an off day because it was Are they calling it President's Day anymore?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I thought maybe they had changed that too.
President's, but not Trump Day.
Okay.
I think that's what they call it.
Okay.
I thought he's getting an airport named after him. So
Is he?
he's a happy man.
Oh, boy.
But we went to the zoo.
Cool.
Yeah. And two of the boys one's 10, one's 8.
Oh.
And I don't know why people do this, but think back a million years ago when you two were adolescent boys, pre-adolescent boys. As soon as you walk up to the zoo, to the main entrance, they've got these little statues of the different animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a new one.
Oh, really?
It's a dog, and it's called a Dick. D-I-K.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
these boys saw that, and what do you think they did?
All day long.
All day.
Talking
No,
about
all
the Dick.
week long. All week long.
Mom, it's an animal at the zoo. I'm not cussing.
That's exactly right. Now, who thought,
Oh.
who did this? Who thought, well, you know what? This is as innocent as can be. No,
Right.
no. Either they knew and they snickered to themselves while they did it,
Yeah.
or they were totally clueless.
It's probably a recent grad from one of our local universities.
It's kind of like
So,
Disney
this'll be hilarious.
when they used to do their animated movies and always hide something.
Oh, like, yeah.
Like on The Lion King? Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
maybe so.
I don't know if, well, but that's always fun for little boys to find ways to sneak in curse words and
Oh, yeah.
references to
Yeah.
genitalia.
Well, I mean, it's
Exactly.
funny that you mentioned little boys because I just had a conversation with my family. We were talking about different things on TV. We're going old school and old TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when Wonder Woman came out.
Okay.
And, you know,
Of course you did.
right. I'm 8, 9, 10. I mean, even then, I always thought watching television, it was live. I didn't think it was something that was recorded.
Mm-hmm.
And every time Wonder Woman was in her outfit running, I kept thinking, the top's going to fall. The top's going to fall. I just know it is. I just keep watching. And
They
it never
probably-
does.
Yeah. That's how they kept you coming back week to week.
Yeah.
We just watched, we're finally on the Timothy Dalton James Bond movies. So I'm watching, what's the first one? We just finished
License to Kill?
License to Kill.
Mm-hmm.
But they had this poor woman running without a bra on, like running all, and I turned to my wife, I was like, that has to be incredibly uncomfortable, right? Like that's not fun at all for her. She's like, yeah, it's bad.
Acting's not supposed to be fun. It's all about the ratings.
It's just
Timothy
getting
Dalton's
dudes-
were the worst. They were so boring.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude.
And
Yeah.
So one of the things you
Yeah.
don't know about the Timothy Dalton era, James Bond, that was the height of the AIDS epidemic.
Oh, so
And
he
so if
wasn't
you-
sleeping around with.
Exactly. You had one
okay.
woman that lasted the whole movie kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was the trend at the time.
Well, License to Kill. I wondered what the not License to Kill. What was the one before that? A View to a Kill? No, License to Kill.
Yeah,
was
View
the
to,
first.
View to a Kill was the last Roger Moore.
Yes.
That's right. But it was like the first big budget Bond movie. You could tell because everything was blowing up, and they had planes and stunts and helicopters and all that junk, and it was like real stuntmen doing stuff around explosions, and so you could tell the budget went way up. I think it was when did that come out? 85, 89, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Duran Duran did the theme song.
That was
for it.
View to a Kill.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Duran Duran.
Christopher Walken.
Super annoying.
Yes.
That was actually supposed to be David Bowie playing that role.
Really?
Yeah, and he turned it down because he didn't like Bond after Sean Connery. He said they're boring now after Sean Connery's in.
Christopher Walken and who played Mayday?
Oh, that was Grace Jones.
Grace Jones, yeah. She was very good, too.
Yeah.
She was.
There's the one scene where she picks up a 230-pound man over her head, and she's skinny as a stick. It's just hilarious. They're like comedies. It really.
Yeah, that was her persona, though.
Yeah, she was like a super
Yeah.
KGB agent, right? Like super strong and
Yeah.
whatever. So anyway, back to mentorship. Let your
Is that where we're at
Let your
today?
young boys watch James Bond. It'll be educational for them.
Start from the beginning, please.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to tell your young boys this is not how a man behaves with women. Don't treat women like this.
Especially the Sean Connery era.
Yeah. Oh boy. So mentoring. What's the difference? Mentoring versus discipleship. What do you think the difference are, guys? I'm going to do a lot of question asking, because I'm the youngest of the group by far, and you guys have a lot more experience with this than me. So.
Well, mentoring to me is more from a professional level, whereas discipleship is more from a religious level to me.
Okay.
Like the mentorship is, hey, you're going to be a salesperson. I am a salesperson, so this is how a salesperson's job is done. Discipleship, I think, would be more like, this is the right way to live, which is much more inclusive and not nearly as focused as mentorship.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
More spiritual. Yep.
Yeah, I agreed. And if I take it just a little bit further than that, on the mentor side, you have more or less an advisor who is working with you, who tries or attempts to hold you accountable to whatever it is that you're striving to improve on. When it comes to discipleship, you're a follower.
Okay.
You know, it's, I just said, I'm trying to cut out that little phrase. I like to say that a lot.
I should get a stick if I hear you say it.
Yeah, throw a wad of paper at me. And I think on the spiritual side, if Jesus walking along the shoreline and all these guys are out there fishing, and he looks at, James and John and says, hey, follow me, and they just drop everything and quit whatever they're doing, leave their dad, and follow him. That's the classic, what we think of when it comes to discipleship. And
no one's going to do that for a mentor.
No.
Right.
You're going to continue working, doing what you're doing.
More of a business arrangement.
Yeah, I'll follow you because I can make more money or be better at something.
Yeah, or they have some skills you want to learn.
Because we were going down that spiritual track a little bit. I did look up whether or not the word mentor at any time was used in the Bible, Old or New Testament. It was not.
Okay.
But there's plenty of examples of mentoring versus discipling in the Bible.
Yeah. So I wanted to put those two together because we're all fathers of men now. All of our children are adult age. Well, I have one that's still cooking, so I'm going to have another young man to raise here shortly. But do we mentor our children, or do we disciple them, or do those not come into play as a father? So is being a father to a son just that father-son relationship, or is there mentorship?
Oh, no.
Is there discipleship, or is it a hybrid of everything and you kind of flow with what is needed at the time?
No, discipleship is certainly a thing that occurs with your children, especially as they're growing up, because they follow you, they watch you, they copy what you do.
Right.
Whether you're trying to or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, even you won't notice it a lot of times, too.
So the discipleship is certainly there, and it does transition over mentorship as they get older.
Okay.
I mean, I noticed that more with, my youngest is 16, my oldest is almost 30, 28. And my son, he's in the Marine Corps. So he still calls. My girls still ask, questions, looking for advice. That to me is mentorship.
But advice on specific items, I would think.
It is.
Right.
But I also write them letters.
Okay.
So I tend to be a letter writer, so I will write them, even if they live in the same home as me, which they do, all my girls. I will still write a letter and leave it on their pillow or something occasionally. And it'll just be something like, hey, it's just Dad checking in, making sure you're doing okay. I know you're really busy. And I'll always leave something in it that would help them in some way. And I know they pay attention. And I know this because if I go into and talk to my daughter Rebecca in her bedroom, on her bulletin board, she has letters from Dad pinned up on the bulletin board.
Cool.
My daughter Jenna, she has on her desk an envelope that just says letters from Dad, and it's stuffed with letters. So I know that whether or not they act like they pay attention, they are paying attention.
Yeah.
So, Cliff, for you, raising 4 boys who are all men with families of their own now, did you notice a change as you got more experience with each son on how you did things, or were you consistent throughout? How far your boys are all fairly evenly separated, aren't they?
They are 40, 39, 36, 34.
Okay.
So about 2 years
close.
apart.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody's measurements.
Yeah. I can't believe Cliff Jr.'s 40.
Oh, yeah.
Holy. Well, I'm almost 50, so I guess that makes sense.
Yep.
So did you notice, like, you had a plan in mind. This is my first son. Here's how I'm going to raise my son. And then as you made mistakes or did good things with the first one, you're like, okay, I'm going to, or were they all just back to back and you were just trying to survive?
I wish I could say that I had a set plan and I followed that set plan to the T. I did not.
Yeah.
A lot of it's shooting from the hip because especially as the second, third, fourth, you learn.
Yeah.
Okay. But the first one, I had no idea. I didn't know how to do it.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
you figure you do this and it doesn't work. Okay, we're not doing that again. You do this and it works. Okay, we'll repeat this.
Right.
So that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, Mike Tyson said everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. And I think that's how parenthood is.
That's not wrong.
You can talk to your wife and be like, all right, here's how we're going to raise this kid. We're going to do this. And then he's there and you're like, man, forget that plan.
Well, it depends on the kid too, because none of my boys, they're all fine men. But none of them are the same.
No.
They're individuals. And so what works for one would not work for the other.
Okay.
And you find that out. Well, shoot, I tried this with this one. It doesn't work for that one. Why is that? Well, because they're different people.
Yeah.
And you need to show discipleship and mentorship with your kid.
It's
Me
probably
with my boys.
more of one or the other with each individual child, right?
Well, it depends on what you're trying. In my opinion, it depends on what you're trying to do. For example, if you're showing them, if they're a left fielder and you're showing them what base to throw to, that's mentorship. If they're deciding to start to date girls, that's discipleship.
Yeah.
Okay. Because if they throw to the wrong base, okay, well, maybe you should play soccer instead.
Can't catch a fly ball.
That's right. Mentorship is not as important. Mentorship is the other. Discipleship is what you have to grow from a boy to a man.
Okay.
If you're not led properly or at least shown a proper path, there's less of a chance of being successful as a human being.
Yeah.
If you're not a good baseball player, oh well, too bad.
Yeah,
if you're not a good human being, there's big consequences to that.
Yeah, especially
listen
for men.
Listen to the newspaper. Open a newspaper if you still read them that way. Listen to the news. Watch the television. It's full of men and women, but especially men who had zero discipleship to follow. Zero. They don't know that they're doing wrong.
Yeah, an undiscipled man or an unled man, unfathered man is a very dangerous thing.
Because they don't know the difference. They can't say, well, this was the wrong thing to do. They don't know.
And just men naturally it could be extremely violent and dangerous if they're left unshaped.
That's
they kind of
the way they are. That's true.
Default to caveman style.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. You got anything to add to that one, Kevin, about parenting and mentor and disciples?
The only thing I noticed about parenting is on the discipline side. The more kids I had, the less my discipline became.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know that, I've apologized to my oldest daughter more than once, and my son, because they were our first two kids, and we experimented with everything on them, how you're going to...
Because you were learning.
Yes, we were learning just like they're learning on their end. And so you think you're going to do the best that you can do, and as they get older, you find out that that's probably not the best way I should have gone. And I've apologized to both of them for some of the things I did as a dad.
Did you guys find that you tended towards your experience with your parents, or you went the opposite direction of your experience with your parents?
I went the opposite mostly. My parents were nothing but yellers.
Okay.
All the time. And my dad was a brute when it came to ruling the house.
Yeah.
And I tried not to do those things. I've mentioned this before. My wife would get so mad at me, she'd keep yelling and yelling at me. Why don't you yell back? Why don't you yell back? Because that's how she thought relationships were supposed to work.
Yeah.
And I refused to do so. And, but there were, I just said it again, there were times when I, really would lose my temper on my kids. Not physically, but to where I would just yell and run away, and then I have to come back and, be humble.
Yeah, which is a rarity.
But I learned that, so over the course of 5 kids, by the time I got to 4 and 5,
Yeah.
The discipline started to fade.
Oh.
And it shows a little.
That's why Samantha's such a wild child, huh?
It shows a little bit.
Not kidding. She's like the sweetest one of your bunch, I think.
Yeah. By the way, she just started working at Kokomo Joe's.
Hey, congratulations.
So
she's got a great personality for that place.
Yeah. I've always said, she's the one person, I've always said that Gail should have taken her to Hollywood when she was 4 years old. I would not be working today. Guaranteed.
Never met a person that she wouldn't be friends with, I don't think.
She has the most amazing facial expression, one-liners, voice range of anybody. She could top any child star out there. So
cool.
Love you, Samantha.
James, you got anything to add to the relationship? You have a close relationship with your father still, who's still with us.
He'll be 90 years old in June. God love him.
Yeah, that's my goal.
And 90. Well, my dad was first of all, I was blessed with incredible parents. Me and there were 6 of us kids growing up, and my folks had nothing. I still remember, I don't remember how old I was, but there were 6 kids, 8 people in the family. And Dad would come home on Friday and hand Mom his paycheck. She'd cash it, go to the store, 2 stores, the sales at this one, the sales of that one, okay? Yeah. And I remember seeing that paycheck one day, and it was $68.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, how in God's name do they raise this family on $68?
Lots of beans and rice, I'm guessing.
But they did it.
Yeah.
But they did it. So they're very good parents. However, that being said, I learned a ton from them on how to be a parent. Some on, hey, this is a good way to be. And some on, this is not a good way to be.
Yeah.
Later on, Dad became a truck driver. And he was gone. He'd leave on Sunday afternoon, and he'd come home on Thursday night.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
And when he left, I mean, he wasn't gone 20 minutes. And me and my brothers thought, okay, we're in charge now. And basically, we were.
Oh, wow. You didn't get the wooden spoon or a paddle?
And we were old enough where Mom couldn't hit us. It didn't hurt.
Yeah.
But wait till your father gets home.
Sure.
And we were beaten severely when he got home.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was worth it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm going to rob this bank and I'm going to get $4 million and they're going to put me in jail for 10 years. But that's worth $4 million. So I'm going to rob the bank anyway.
Well, as long as they don't recover the money.
Right. And the money was never recovered. The money was spent. The party was had, and then we get a butt whooping.
Yeah.
Bottom line is I never beat my kids, and my kids say, is that because you love us more than Grandma and Grandpa? No. Was that because you just wanted to be a more modern parent? I said, no. I said, it's because it didn't work.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah. It kind of just makes you harder.
It does. It does. So yeah, I mean, we raised our kids different, but it's like you said, Kevin. You try something, okay, that didn't work, so you change it. And by the time you get to the last kid, I'm not going to say you have it down pat, but you're better at it, okay? Yeah. And so I think that's most families that I know, the youngest kid tends to be the best kid because the parents were better at being parents. That's the way it was in our family.
And the oldest is most serious. Or the most reality-stricken. Yeah,
maybe. I know in my family, my youngest brother was by far the most, the best kid. He never misbehaved, never did anything bad, he was a good kid because I don't know if they learned or they were too tired.
Probably watched you getting beaten and they were like, I'm not doing that.
That could well be.
I don't want none of that.
That could well be. But you learn, just like you said.
Yeah, you brought up a funny thing with the paycheck, $68, that you actually looked at it.
Yeah.
I have a rule with my family, rule number 81, Dad's rules. Rule number 81 is if you look at the bill, you pay for it.
Oh.
And so when we're out of the restaurant or something, you know, and even now when the bill comes, they're all like hiding their eyes, turning to the side.
They don't want to see it.
I'm not going to look at it.
Well, it's funny you mentioned about losing your temper, and everybody does. And the handful of times where I just totally went off the reservation and lost my temper with the kids, They remember those times. And they still bring it up.
Yes.
Laughing. It was hilarious. Hey, Dad, remember when this happened? You almost lost your mind. So, again, that doesn't work.
Dang.
So there's no need to do that because you become a laughing stock.
Yeah.
Not oh my gosh, we pushed Dad over the edge and we're bad people for doing that. No, it was hilarious, and they still bring it up.
Man.
I mean, I saw what my dad was doing when I was growing up. My dad got so mad one time he punched the wall, but he hit the corner of the wall instead of the wall itself. Well, he broke his hand.
Yeah.
And then another time he got mad, yelling with my mom, in an argument. And remember those old dome lights in our bedrooms?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't exist anymore, right? They don't do those things. He jumped up on the bed and ripped it out because he's like, I'll turn off the light, and just ripped it out. Well, the glass broke and slit his wrist. And
he showed her.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, those are the things that I remembered, and I never took that into my relationships.
Yeah, I would think we all, as fathers now, we probably have those things in mind, like, I will never do that with my kids.
Yeah.
And then you'll catch yourself almost doing it, and you're like, whoa, hold on a second.
Yep.
I promised myself.
Yep.
So, yeah, we all have those, I'm sure.
Well, if you can't get better at what you do, then there's no sense in doing it. You need to at least make an effort to try to do it better.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a weird situation, a very unique situation with my kids, that there's a 21-year age gap in between. So, with my 2-year-old and my one on the way, it's a strange kind of, I'm not going to say Twilight Zone, but it's weird. It's like doing it over again. And
it's because you are.
I am. And so I have a very unique perspective where I could say, okay, my kids are 24 and 21 now, my oldest, and now I have a 2-year-old and a daughter, which I had 2 boys. I don't know how to raise a daughter, but I mean, I know how to raise a daughter. It's, and then another son on the way. That's what I'm really interested in, having another son, and how much more stable I am in life, where I missed a lot of time with the boys when they were younger from military and working second shifts and all that kind of stuff. But now I'm more stable and steady and way more mature than what I was then, and wiser and all that stuff. So it should be fun. And my goal is to make my older boys jealous and wish, like, dang, I wish I was Jack. Why didn't Dad do that with us? Although I did a lot with my kids when they were young, my boys. That was something I promised myself. I would always stop whatever I'm doing. If the kids ask me, like, hey, Dad, let's go wrestle, or let's go play catch, or let's do this, I'll stop whatever I'm doing. I don't care how tired I am. I don't care what's going on. It can wait. We're going to go throw the ball.
Yep. Very cool.
Let's see. Here's a question. What's one area you feel like you failed or fallen short as a dad, and what did you learn from it? Don't jump. There, guys.
Not keeping them on course.
Okay.
Every single one of my kids did something outside of school. But when they wanted to quit, I let them quit.
Like instruments or sports or extracurricular stuff.
For instance, my son Michael, he went through Taekwondo. Mm-hmm. And he worked himself all the way up to where he was one step away from earning his black belt. And he quit. And the reason why he quit is it got to the point when they would spar, it started to hurt. And he didn't want to do it anymore. And I let him quit. And now he's in the Marine Corps, and he's fighting to earn his black belt in Marine Corps martial arts. And he's a step away from earning it, but he can't find anybody right now who will test him.
Oh.
So that's kind of his struggle. I can remember my daughter, Jenna. She was great at soccer, and she didn't want to play anymore. And I let her stop. And every single one of my children, I could tell you the exact same thing that they did. And I let them stop. I shouldn't have. I should have just said, nope, do it again.
Yeah.
But those activities, I mean, they were other.
Well, they were other, but we homeschooled all our kids.
Okay.
So for me, it was not just a way to continue to get better. It was a way for them to continue to improve and get better, be better selves. And everything that they were doing, I did not have that opportunity as a child. My mom I lost my dad when I was 7 years old to a heart attack. My mom was single, very low income. I mean, I don't remember how bad it was until I was older and I realized certain things. I went, oh, wait a minute. Now I know why I did this. Or why one year for Christmas, all of my presents were school supplies.
Oh, yeah.
And underwear.
I didn't even get that. So, it was one of those things as a kid growing up that I remember as a dad. And then even now as I've gotten older and all my kids have grown, that I should have pushed them a little bit more. Whether or not they ended up quitting would have been fine, but I should have pushed them a little bit more.
Pushed or encouraged?
Encouraged.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because some of it was money related. Single income, raising 5 kids, not easy.
Time. I mean, shoot, if you have 3 kids in soccer at the same time, I think you did, Cliff, didn't all your kids play soccer?
They did.
And you're like, I'm sure they're all different fields all over the place.
Well, we were lucky though. I mean, our kids played soccer, they played baseball, they played golf. One of them sailed. They did all kinds of sports, but it was all there in the neighborhood. They could ride their bikes everywhere.
Oh, okay.
So we were fortunate in that we moved to a community where you could do that.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that.
No.
And we let our kids do whatever they wanted. If they didn't want to do it, they didn't have to. Now, if you signed up for it, you got to finish the year, but you don't have to start the next year.
Yeah, I'm the same way even now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I mean, if you decide you don't want to play golf anymore, that's okay. If you decide you don't want to go to school anymore, that's not okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had a son one time. He decided he wanted to be a vegan.
Okay.
And this was on the evening that we left to go to San Francisco. So we got off the plane, got the car, went to Fisherman's Wharf, and went to have wonderful seafood. And there were no vegan options. There was a veggie burger.
I thought vegans could eat seafood.
No, that's pescatarians. That's pescatarians. No, this was totally vegan. Okay.
Nothing alive.
And he was depressed. This whole vacation, I'm going to be a vegan. I said, let's do this. I said, I know that's a commitment you made, but why don't you start this commitment next week?
Yeah.
His eyes lit up. Said, okay. Well, that's the last we ever heard of it. Okay.
Take a vacation from being a vegan.
You can stop being a vegan.
Right.
That's okay. You can't stop going to school.
Yeah. Please stop being a vegan if you're listening. Please stop. Yeah. My son was about to start. He had just finished his last Boy Scout level and about to start the process to get his Eagle Scout. And he just like, I don't want to do it. And I was like, ooh, man, this would be a huge character builder to make Eagle Scout. It's pretty rare, especially nowadays. You have everything in line. You just got to do a few more things. If I really think you would appreciate. You would really, benefit from this in the future if you would do. He's like, I just don't want to do it. I don't like the Boy Scouts anymore. I don't want to do it. And at this time, I'm like, I'm done with it. My younger boy was done. It was all women running the show. And it was no dads showing up to the Boy Scout meetings anymore. And when we'd go on like canoe trips, I'm the only man who's having to like rescue kids out of the river. And, do all the stuff. And I was like, all right, this is not worth it. It's not worth the amount of stress it's going to put on my son who's already dealing with high school stuff. I'm like, okay, we're done.
I have to guess if he loved it, wanted to stay with it, you just said fine and kept it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have. Yeah, for sure. And then, also, you don't need to be in Boy Scouts to go on hikes or fishing trips or canoe trips and do high adventure stuff.
That's true.
We kept doing it all. Just stopped being involved in the Boy Scouts of America.
Yeah. Yep.
So why do you checking out? Like dads kind of check out in their kids' lives sometimes. What do you think causes that? Is it pressure? Lack of experience, like new parents, they feel like they're too tired? Is it career stuff? Is it all of that above? Did they not get discipled properly as men or mentored as men?
Are you asking if the kids checked out?
The men, fathers. You know, it seems like there's a lot of...
I've never checked out.
Well, I'm not saying you. Obviously, the guys at this table, people I'm friends with, are not going to be the type of guys that would check out of their kids' lives. But I've seen it. Like the Boy Scout families, you know. The dads weren't at the Boy Scout meetings because it's not football or baseball, so they didn't care. And the moms thought, you know, so it was all ran by the mothers, whether they were single moms or their dads were just didn't care, which I thought was incredibly sad. So is that, what causes that? Are you guys just lazy, or what do you think?
Checking out of an individual activity, I wouldn't say that's necessarily checking out. None of my boys were in the Scouts. I had one that was in the Cub Scouts for a little while, but he really didn't care for it too much. I went on one camping trip with them. It wasn't, he said, this isn't any fun. Well, let's go and I'll go with you. And it wasn't any fun. No. So he checked out before he became a Boy Scout. He didn't like it, and I said, fine. But my job, I was gone a lot. I had a sales job. So quite often I was gone Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do that kind of stuff with them. So I think there's checking out. And there's checking out, not going to every basketball game, not being the coach, not being the den mother, den father.
That's okay.
Right. That's not checking out. That's just, if your kids are involved in 17 activities.
Sometimes you have to divide and conquer.
That's exactly right. Because if you've got more than one kid, you can't go to a mall and still bring in money to fund the nut roll. Okay.
When you did come home from work, from traveling, and you came home, did you lock yourself in the basement and away from your kids, or did you go lay in your bed while they're...
Nah, we generally did. Generally, when I would come home from a trip, okay, what's going on tonight? Well, so-and-so has a soccer game and so-and-so has a basketball game. Mm-hmm. Which one do you want to go to? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll go to the soccer game and I'll take this one. You go to the basketball game and take that one. Mm-hmm. Bang. Quick dinner or bring something with us and we'd go. So I was fortunate that I had a wife who stayed home much of the time, stayed in the area. I mean, she didn't travel. Yeah. Is what I mean. And so she had everything choreographed. So when I came home, she's okay, this is what we're doing. Which piece of the pie do you want to do? And I'd take this one, she'd take that one, and then we would divide and conquer. But when you said check out, I thought you were talking about, you know what? Me and the old lady don't get along, so I'm out.
I'm talking about fathers that are just bums. They're in the house, but they're just a bum.
Oh, well,
do we see that much anymore? I don't know any guys that I associate with personally that I would be like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? Why don't you go spend some time with your family? Or
you talking about the men that they're still fathers and they earn the money and they think that's enough.
Yeah.
That's the boomers.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's a bit of my own experience coming through in this question, but not to disparage my father who recently passed away. I don't want to talk bad about my dad, but
the closest thing I can come to with checking out, and it's loosely termed, would be if one of my children are going through something in their lives, or they need to make a decision, and I purposely do not get involved. I'll be told about it. I'll hear about it, but I'm just going to let it go.
Is that because you want them to work through this problem on their own?
I want to see what they can do on their own.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm all about making sure my kids are fully developed.
Yeah.
And they understand the reality of the world.
I think that's good leadership, though.
Well, yeah, when they hit a certain age, you don't want to be that parent who just is the helicopter parent that I'll accompany you to your Dungeons and Dragons play party. You don't want to do that. Let them do that themselves.
Right. And I also make sure that they can come to me for advice, but I'm not going to solve their problem for them. Nor am I going to do the work. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, I forgot to renew the license on my car, my plates. And then when they go to do it, they find out that they never paid personal property tax for 2 years. Didn't know there was such a thing as a personal property tax assessment that came in the mail. Mm-hmm. And those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And rather than doing the work, I would just say, well, you got to start at the DMV and see what they tell you. Mm-hmm. And that's a real life experience I just went through with one of my daughters.
It's good for a youngin to struggle with the government so they can learn how terrible they are.
They need to understand how it works. Same with filing your taxes every year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to file your taxes for you.
You're an adult.
The first one or two I might.
Mm-hmm.
But that's showing them how. That's the whole mentorship or discipleship.
Yes.
It's easy with TurboTax now. They just take a picture of their W-2 and upload it, and it's done, I think.
Well, I got something that's even easier.
Oh, yeah?
Marry a CPA.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You got a ringer.
I married a CPA. I am done.
Good point.
I signed the return.
Nice. Smart move. So I guess my whole point with this topic was, as fathers, we have to be flexible and be aware of what our kids need at any given moment. Do they need mentorship in this, or do they need some discipleship, or do they need us to step back and observe from afar? Those are hard decisions to make.
Here's a perfect example of something that happened to me just today. Number 2 son is 39, just turned 39.
Old.
And he said, this was last week, he said, Dad, both the cars need oil changed. So can we do that kind of soon? Okay, let's do it Saturday. Fine. So we did that. I'm fortunate that, what I do now as my hobby is I work on old cars, restoring that 51 Jaguar Mark 7. So I rented a two-bay shop. Okay, so I got all my tools, compressed air, electricity, everything. So he brought them on by. The discipleship is, even when they're 39, they can still rely on Dad to show them. You can always count on Dad. Dad's always going to be there for you.
And there's probably other conversations that go on while you're turning a wrench.
That's true. But that's just it. I didn't turn many wrenches.
Yeah.
He did about 90% of the work. I said, put the jack here, put this up there, lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Yeah.
Take this off that way, put this on that way. So it was mentorship, and then I was showing him the proper way to work on the cars.
Yeah.
Discipleship is, as long as I'm alive and capable, I will be here for you.
Yeah.
And that's how you should treat your son. So you're showing him how to be a dad. Because him and his wife just recently had their first. And so there's discipleship and mentorship both working side by side, hand in hand, but they're a tad different.
Right.
The mentorship is, okay, I'm showing him how to change oil on his car. Let's say he never learns. Okay, then you're going to have to write a check for somebody. But the discipleship is showing him how to be a father. That's something you can't fail at because you've got a kid and you can't fail.
Right.
There's the difference.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Oh, completely. Even as a married couple, husband and wife, because we get that feedback from our kids all the time for mom and dad, is they watch us and their standards for what they think that the man in their life will be or the woman in their life is going to be someday is so high that they don't think they can achieve it and they would actually yell at us and say, would you stop it? It's so hard. I can't figure out. I'm not going to find anybody as good as that kind of thing, you know. And, it makes you feel good.
Sure. But also, you're like, find a man and get the heck out of this.
Right. Get to work.
There's plenty of men out there who need a good woman. Did your boys come to you when they found the woman they want to marry and to ask you for advice there, or?
Yeah, they all did.
Cool.
They all did. And I told them the same thing. We had the same conversation. I had the same conversation with each one of them. I don't know if I want to marry her. I think I'm going to marry her. I said, well, can you live without her? And they thought about it. I said, if the answer is anything other than definitely no, then don't marry her.
Yeah.
And they all said definitely no, and they're all happily married with children.
I can't even stand to spend a weekend away from Caitlin. I go crazy. Maybe that's codependent, but I don't know. But she's like, I always say it feels like I'm missing an arm when I'm not around her. It just feels so strange to me and I'm uncomfortable all the time.
If you say she completes me, I will slap you.
No, she doesn't complete me. She compliments me.
I like that much better.
Yeah, she compliments me perfect, and I compliment her. But yeah, I like that advice. Could you live without her?
If you find the right woman, you've hit the lottery.
Yeah. Yeah.
You really have.
I'm 100% blessed more than I deserve with my wife.
As am I.
Yeah. I mean, I was engaged in 4 months.
Yeah. You
And
figured
got
it
married,
out quick.
Got married a year later after we met.
Man, I fought like hell to not fall in love with Caitlin. And God said, no, son. I don't think so.
Sorry, Charlie.
Yep. It got me. So thank you to all our wives for giving us our wonderful children.
You bet.
And hopefully we're the fathers that we need to be when we need to be it. And the husbands too, like you said, being a good example for your children to follow as a husband. Like, this is how you should be a husband. This is how you should be a father. This is the kind of man you should be. You should be setting that standard as a father. And, you got to do some introspection, self-inspection, figure out where you're falling short, if at all, and fix it, man.
Yep.
It's not easy, though. Easy to say, but it's not easy to do.
Yep.
Kevin, is this whiskey changing at all for you?
No, it's still the same from the start.
Yeah, I agree.
That doesn't mean I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah, it's surprising. Like the Jack Daniels. We tried the Jack Daniels last week.
Yes.
I hadn't had Jack Daniels, I think, since I was in high school, I think. And I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. I was surprised. And same with this, it's a blended bourbon made by who knows who. And it's enjoyable. It's not funky gym shoes like a
or dirty laundry.
Bourbon, I'm guessing bourbon, again, I'm more used to wine. And New World wine and Old World wine. Most European wines are a meritage. Most New World wines, like North America, South America, Australia, even South Africa, it's the grape.
Right.
A Cabernet, a Merlot, a Pinot Noir, a Pinot Grigio. It's the grape, okay? Yeah. And they will change from year to year because the grape is different from year to year, okay? Right. The harvest is different. The wine's going to, well, this is not as good as the 2024. The 2023 was, and because it is, because
right,
it's different. What the Europeans do is they blend it so that it tastes the same every year. Okay, I need to put a different percentage of Grenache grapes into here this year because the Cabernet grapes were too harsh. Okay, and maybe we add a little bit of Cabernet Franc to it because this year's Merlot is missing something.
So
okay,
do their wine is by the vineyard, not by the grape, like how they name it?
It's by the appellation. Like a Bordeaux is from the Bordeaux region of France.
Right.
Okay.
Region. That's kind of what I meant. Not vineyard. Region.
Yeah, and they'll even go the left bank and the right bank. Yeah. So, which to me is like the Scotch that's downwind from this certain peat bog. Stop it. There's a little bit. Don't tell me that the other side of the river is going to taste a little different. Maybe it does. I don't know. I don't have that kind of a palate.
Yeah, you have to be.
But the Europeans blend wines all the time.
Yeah, Canadian whiskey is blended always, right? If I remember right. I think the Canadian whiskey is always a blended whiskey. But American bourbon is more likely to be just a single.
Well, that's blended and it says bourbon.
I know it's bourbon. It says bourbon, but technically, according to the bourbon rules, it's not.
It's a bourbon whiskey.
Bourbon whiskey is what it says. So a bourbon will just say bourbon.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, once upon a time, didn't bourbon used to have to come from Kentucky?
Bourbon County.
It still does.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Kentucky, 51% corn is the minimum. Has to be in virgin oak barrels. And has to be aged a minimum of 2 years, 2 or 4.
Yeah.
Well, but whose rule is that? Because Parmesan cheese can only come from a certain region in France, but you can also get it from Wisconsin.
You have to have.
Well, you can. Again, you can't put the word bourbon on the barrel.
Yeah.
Or on the label,
Just
unless
like,
it's what I just described.
Okay.
Otherwise, you say bourbon whiskey.
Okay.
So this was bottled in Louisiana, so it can't be bourbon, but like Jack Daniels isn't bourbon; it's Tennessee whiskey.
Right.
But if you didn't know the difference, you'd drink it like every.
It's just like there's a California vineyard who put the word champagne on their label.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they were sued by France. and California lost. And they had to change the name, and they're a sparkling wine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Chianti's that way. If you see Chianti, that has to be a Sangiovese grape from the Chianti region of Italy, and there'll even be the pink band around it.
Oh, wow.
Tennessee whiskey is that. Scotch is that.
Then you have the bottled in bond rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which applies to all whiskey, right? Is there any bottled in bond from Tennessee? Or is it all bourbon?
Well, Rittenhouse, no, it's not all bourbon, because Rittenhouse is a rye that's bottled in bond, and it's from Indiana.
Okay.
Has to be 100 proof, has to have the stamp of the government on it, has to have a bunch of stuff.
It has to be aged in a warehouse that is government
approved,
observed, or under government security or something. I forget what they said.
Yeah, I think that came about because people were putting all sorts of nasty stuff in there.
They were doctoring it up.
And then the government did it during Prohibition, poisoned a bunch of people.
Well, I'm going to flip the script a little bit.
All right.
Do you have any mentors in your life right now?
You, Kevin, I guess. I mean, when I first started, we tell everybody we worked together. But you asked me, one of the first questions you asked me when I started working, the first week I worked there, what kind of boss, employee, supervisee relationship are you looking for here? And I said, well, I'm looking more for a mentor style relationship, because I'm, just come out of the fire service. I did have some experience with what I do, and but you have more experience, especially when it comes to
public speaking.
No.
Kind of like saying stop reading the slides.
I've been slapped on the wrist many times for that. So, but yeah, you would think I would know, because I went through drill sergeant school and fire academy instructor course. So I should know how to give a class by now, but sometimes old habits die hard. But yeah, I was looking more for how do you navigate networking events, or, high level meetings with the C-suite, and the dynamic that goes on where we work, those kind of things. Because I, wore a uniform for half my life or more, almost.
Sure.
And so it was kind of like those type of questions are what I was looking for. But now we became friends, and I'll still come in your office, be like, hey man, what do you think about this email before I send it to the president of the company? Is this going to get me in trouble? Because I'm on the regulatory type side, and I'm an advisor. And sometimes I'm like, hey, dumbass, we shouldn't be doing this. We're going to get in trouble. But I have to word it a certain way to make it sound like, hey, you're doing a great job. I'm just here to tell you, you could go to prison for this.
Right.
Not that we're doing anything that anybody could go to prison for. I was grossly exaggerating that.
James, do you have a mentor right now?
Professionally?
Well,
personal or professional?
I'm a poor pensioner who's not even drawing Social Security yet. So
retiree.
That ship has kind of sailed as far as learning how to do a job.
Well, let me slide it out a little bit then. Have you had mentors in your life? Can you talk about any of them?
I absolutely have. And here's the thing. Here's the strange thing. And this happened, I realized this shortly before I retired. I've had 6 mentors in my professional life that I can think of. Mm-hmm. They're all dead. Every one of them. And that struck me.
Wow.
Kind of hard. And it was almost like, I don't want to get another mentor because they'll just die. Mm. And usually a mentor needs to be older than you because they're more experienced, right?
Yeah. There's nobody left.
There's not many people older than me.
You get the feeling like you're next.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
I think
you're the new sage.
I think about that when I look at all my, people dying, and I'm like, whoa. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be next one day. I better start enjoying my life.
Well, and that's just it. And I came to the realization that we're all going to die. Everybody knows that.
Absolutely.
Okay. And in theater, you have 3 acts. Okay. I'm in the 3rd act. Mm-hmm. And there's no 4th. except for the afterlife.
There is, yeah.
So on earth, this is it. There's no act 4. Mm-hmm. There's no epilogue. There's no standing ovation. You come out with the flowers. That just happens in the theater. But I'm in act 3. So there's really no need for me to have a mentor. Sure, I want to learn how to work on these dopey cars a little bit better. Mm-hmm. You have YouTube videos, and my buddies in the shops that's in the little area that I have, we share information with each other. Mm-hmm. That's fine. But for the next act, I mean, we talk about mentorship and discipleship, and to look at who do you want to look to for guidance as to what's next, mm-hmm. and it's got to be Jesus Christ.
That's right.
Now, is he a man? He's God, and he was a man.
Yeah.
But he was God, Lord, brother,
pretty good,
and friend.
Perfect example of manhood, I would say.
That's discipleship on the highest level.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, mentor, maybe not. Discipleship, who do you follow? Yeah. You want to learn how to live your life, open up the Bible and see what Jesus has to say.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll get another one who will be better.
No, you won't.
So I'll stick with him. How's that?
That's a pretty perfect answer, James. I like that. How about you, Kevin?
I have none right now.
Yeah.
But I had several.
They all died on you too?
No, all 3 are still living.
Okay.
The funny thing is, all of my mentors, none of them were people that I have ever worked with or went to school with as a civilian. All 3 of my mentors were when I was in the Army as an officer. Mm-hmm. One of them was Mark Spindler. He's a retired brigadier general now, but I knew him as a captain. He was my instructor in ROTC, and he taught me everything I needed to know about the basics of leadership, how to care for your people, how to stay motivated, all those things. And, he had so much energy, and he'd just walk around constantly in front of you. And then he would throw a question at you. And if you didn't have the answer right, he'd just go, "Wrong, loser," and would keep on moving.
Loser.
But he was a motivating person at the same time. Always there for you, and always teaching you along the way as a cadet.
Yeah.
So he called you a loser in a loving way.
Oh yeah. So the way it was spelled was Luzer. If you were Loser, you're gonna fail. Okay. Luzer was a term of endearment.
Okay.
And I still use that to this day.
You're all losers, just one or the other.
Exactly. The other one is a retired Colonel, Joe Frankie. He was my 1st Battalion commander when I was in Korea. And as a brand new lieutenant, he's the one who taught me all about professionalism as an officer. Mm-hmm. My entire year in Korea was on staff. I never served with troops one time while I was there. And so he spent a lot of time with me, just mentoring me on the side of professionalism and forcing me to read different books. And he would ask me questions later about something that come from a book as more like a test, whether or not I actually read the book. And funny story. So we get a new camp commander, and he decided to walk through all the officer BOQs one day while we're all on duty. We didn't know he did it. And Colonel Frankie calls me to his office. And so I go see him because I don't know what he's going to talk to me about. He just wants to see me. So I go in there and he says, Captain Spees, or Lieutenant Spees. He goes, Colonel, or I forget what the colonel's name was. He went through your bedroom today, or your BOQ, and he's not happy with the condition of it. And he says, I want to go see it right now. I said, all right. So he and I walked over to my BOQ, and I know what he's going to see when he opens the door, or when I open the door. So I open the door, he walks in, bed's not made, clothes everywhere, dishes in the sink, wall locker wide open, stuff's laying around. Because, again, I thought this was my private thing. I'm not living in the barracks. I didn't know the camp commander was going to come walking through one day. Mm-hmm. And He is disgusted by my quarters. But he's disgusted because of the wall locker with the doors open and everything flung out and laying on the floor. And he goes, oh no, this is unacceptable. I'm going to have a talk with the colonel right now.
The colonel pulled your stuff out of your wall locker.
That was his assumption.
Oh. He didn't think you would be that much of a slob.
And I had to say, Colonel Frankie, sir, no, this is the way it was when he walked in. And he looked at me and went, you've got to be kidding me.
I'll probably use some other words.
I said, no, he wasn't. He was not that kind of guy.
Oh, he didn't cuss?
And he said, oh, all right. I want you to clean your room and then report to my office when you're finished. Yes, sir. And I cleaned it up, made it spotless, and then reported to the office. And he kind of gave me a mouth chewing, but not so much. And he said, I highly recommend you hire the Ajiman to clean your room at $40 a month.
That means old lady.
To get it done.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. And flash forward 2 years later, I'm at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Our new group commander, now he got promoted to colonel, full colonel, is going to be Colonel Frankie. And I'm excited because I like this guy. And my battalion commanders ask me, tell me about Colonel Frankie. What do I need to know? And all that good stuff. Gail and I happened to walk in at the PX just to do some shopping. As we're walking out, he's walking in. And I said, Colonel Frankie, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the group, you know. And he said, Lieutenant Spees. And he looks at my wife and he goes, let me tell you a story about your husband.
This dirty, nasty slob.
And he proceeds to tell that one story. And from even to this day, after he is retired, because we're friends on LinkedIn, he will still bring up that story in his conversations with other people.
It must have been pretty nasty.
Anyway, great guy.
That's because that's the only time you had ever done anything that was out of favor with him, because that's the only thing he's bringing up.
Yeah.
The last one was the Battalion XO when I was at Fort Bragg, and I was the Battalion S4. His name was Max Libedo. And one of the things I knew about him, he was 5'5", 5'7", 6'6".
Did he act like it?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
So I knew he had a height complex.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, and you're 6'2", 6'4"?
6'1".
Yeah. Okay.
But I knew this when I took over the job. So when he called me into his office to brief me, I walked in and reported. And as soon as I reported, I sat down in the chair.
Oh.
I didn't wait for him to ask me. And I sat in there, and he did not say a word. Later, I found out that was the best thing I could have ever done for him, because he can't stand looking up at people. He wants to be eye level or a little bit lower. And I knew that, and I actually took advantage of it.
The poor enlisted men that had to stand, because as an enlisted man, you're never going to take a seat in an officer's office without being told to do so.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite mentors, actually. He taught me a lot about engagement in what the Army was like and how to deal with people and things like that. And he ended up retiring as a brigadier general as well. And I actually brought 2 documents from him. One is one of my officer evaluation reports. Mm-hmm. The last lines here of his evaluation. First Lieutenant Spees is truly a dedicated officer with a granite attitude that allows him to always excel when others never take the challenge. An outstanding leader, mentor, and logistician. He is one of our very best. And you know what? He believed it. And he put that on me to where I believed it. Mm-hmm. And then when I was PCSing, he actually wrote me up for a meritorious service medal. I'm a lieutenant, first lieutenant.
You don't get that.
I'm about to get promoted to captain. And he wrote me up for a meritorious service medal. Cracks me up, some of the stuff he put in here. The consummate epitome of the small unit leader. The multifunctional logistician of the highest caliber, reserved usually for more senior officers. It goes on, and for us, and he recommended me for the MSM. He's a major, the XO. Mm-hmm. My battalion commander concurred, wrote up a statement. I concur. The group commander, Colonel Frankie, concurred, wrote me up, said he deserves the Meritorious Service Medal.
MSM goes to division.
It goes to the Corps commander, COSCOM commander.
Yeah, it's higher than division.
So it goes to the general level. So it went to the brigadier general, the COSCOM commander at the time, downgrade, ARCOM. And that's what I got. And when...
Just because you're a lieutenant, probably.
Exactly, because Major Libedo, who's now general retired, actually came to me and says, you got an ARCOM because the general believes lieutenants do not earn MSMs.
Yep.
And so it's like, okay, that's fine.
Meanwhile, he's got medals on his chest that he got for just sitting at a desk.
But he has statements in here like as someone marching to the sound of the guns. I mean, it's just hilarious, some of the stuff you read in here. The guy was a great writer.
Yeah. Those are always
he laid it on pretty thick, huh?
Anyway, they were those are the only three mentors really I can name throughout my entire life so far.
That is the good thing about the military is that there's the culture of mentorship. It's like mandatory. So if you're an E4 and you get a new private in the squad, your squad leader looks at you and you're like, he's yours. That's your baby. Take care of him. Make sure he shows up to formation on time. Make sure his shoes are tied. Basically you know nothing. But they put it on you as a E4, which is a pretty young soldier. And then that's when it starts. Then you could become a team leader or squad leader, platoon sergeant. You always have people that you're mentoring and guiding their professional development.
Right. I'm guessing if you do a good job at it.
Both.
No, if you don't do a good job, you're gone. Like they're just going to write you bad evaluations. You won't get promoted.
That's what I mean. That's
but you
what
work
I mean.
on them at the same time. You do your best to try and get them to, toe the line.
Usually, if a guy is not being a good leader, it's his leader. You look at the next level up. What's going on above him where this guy does not know what's going on?
It's like he wasn't taught. He doesn't know how because he was never taught.
Right. It's always a failure in leadership.
Okay.
Everything is like if somebody fails, you look at their leader. What's wrong with you that your guy failed?
That makes sense.
But I could also tell you, I've had several mentors in my life who I've lived vicariously through. They're vicarious mentors.
Sure.
Because I only learn about them through books.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can rattle off Teddy Roosevelt, John Adams, General Patton. Those are the three that I go to all the time for advice on
for me. Life. I definitely identify with Hackworth and as a small unit leader, like how he led, and that's what I wanted it to be like. It's the same in the fire service too. There's like legends in the fire service that you hear about, but you usually hear about them from somebody else. They don't write books. Guys don't write books about themselves. Unlike the Navy SEALs. But there's legends in the fire service where you're like, that's the kind of fireman I want to be. My buddy Kenny, we had him on the show September 11th. He was in FDNY during 9/11, and we had him on the show. Even though I was his lieutenant, he was retired from FDNY, so and he was just working part-time for us for fun. But I would pick his brain all the time, and we talked about what is a fireman versus a firefighter. There's a big difference, and we'd have these like philosophical conversations about the fire service, and it was great.
Well, it's probably an easy answer to the question, but does mentorship ever end?
You're either being mentored or you're mentoring somebody. You
Always.
Should be, right?
Even unofficially, or
you might not even know it. People are looking at you like, yeah, I want to be like that guy. You might have some young kids 4 bays down, and you're like, man, when I'm retired, I'm going to be, they're watching.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, with us, it's more just we all have our own skills. It's more of a brotherhood, okay, out there in the shop. This guy does this good, so you rely on him. I've got a machine shop in my shop, so if the guys need something made or altered, they'll come to me. Okay, so everybody has their talents.
But even with your sons, like you said, they call you to help with oil changes. I mean,
sure.
You have the facility to do it.
Exactly.
So I'm going to go, but they know you're going to be there. The discipleship / mentorship relationship's going to be going on.
Sure. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like if I'm sure if they pulled up and they opened their door to their car and a pile of McDonald's wrappers comes falling out, you'd be like, son, what the hell are you doing?
Pretty much.
Yeah. You need to get there.
I think the more popular term today, and we're kind of dating ourselves, and these words are still being used, but I think influencer. We hear about influencers all the time, whether it's a YouTube influencer, TikToker.
Yeah, they've kind of ruined They've kind of ruined it, though. Right.
Right. Yeah. Right. To
I think
me,
it's a little bit of both.
But you mentioned about the generational thing, and to me, an influencer is
manipulator, is what I'd say.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about before the YouTube and the Instagram days.
Before then, yes.
An influencer would be, okay, this guy is a positive influence, maybe a negative influence, but you look at him and say, hey, that's the way to be because he's or she is this way. I'm going to be that way too. It's not, I can look into a camera and do the duck lips, and now every girl wants to do that.
John Kennedy. I'm sure there were plenty of young men that looked at John Kennedy like, oh, I'm going to wear that style of suit, and I'm going to present, myself this way. Or Arnold Schwarzenegger, let's say. He was insanely popular.
Yeah.
Like, guys were like, well, I'm going to go to the gym and lift weights.
Well, but both of those people were exceptional in their field.
Sure.
Now, it's a generational thing, but I look at some of these dopey people that are...
They're not exceptional at anything.
Influencer in air quotes.
Yeah.
They're not exceptional at anything. They're but look at all the clicks I got. Well, okay, I guess that's something. And again...
It's all fake.
It's
all manufactured.
It's something I don't understand.
That's
I'll say
actually
that.
A great point.
I don't understand it, so I don't get involved in it because I don't get it.
It's a psyop.
Exceptional in their field is a great point.
Right.
Yeah.
If I were to start, for instance, with you guys, if I were to say, okay, a 1951 Jaguar Mark 7, the rear end of that has both ferrous and non-ferrous parts in the rear end. So what type of rear end grease should you use in it?
Yeah.
You don't know? Why, you must be stupid. No, that's not what you do, okay? Right. So because it doesn't make you good or bad, it's just that's not your thing.
I might still call you stupid.
What non-ferrous metals are in there? Is it lead?
Brass.
Oh, okay. Neat.
So you can't use some oils because some oils will attack brass.
Right.
But because it's a I forgot the word. It's a certain type of transmission that generates the rear end gears. It generates a lot of friction. So you've got to have a grease that puts up with high friction. But most modern high friction greases and oils will attack brass.
Degrade it.
Yeah. So you have to go to the UK and pay $8 a quart or $8 a pint for this stuff. But it's fine.
Yeah.
It only takes 2 pints.
That's what makes it fun, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So in other words, just because you don't understand it doesn't make you bad.
Yeah.
I don't understand what these people are all about.
Yeah,
I know two things. I don't get it, and they have more money than me.
Sure.
Okay, so somebody's getting it. It just ain't me.
Yeah, I guess I was born in 1979, so I'm trying to think of who would have been considered an influencer, in quotes, for me, being a kid growing up in the 80s. And I don't think I mean, they were all sports people, Ozzie Smith or I don't even know David Robinson, basketball. I really admired him, and I wanted to style the way I played basketball. I wanted to play like David Robinson or Pistol Pete Maravich, which was way before my time.
And closer to your height.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not built like David Robinson. But play the game right. Respect your opponents, good sportsmanship, have good fundamentals. That's kind of the way I wanted to play. Have master the basics. That's the way I do my job now. Master the basics. That's the way I led in the fire service. So I guess those were influencers on me as a young kid. But then you had like Bo and Luke Duke, where I was like, I want to be like these guys, running, racing cars and doing jumping, and that was fun. I didn't want a sister riding with me with Daisy Duke shorts, but was there a sister or a cousin? Was Daisy a cousin?
Cousin.
I think she was a cousin.
Cousin.
Which I wonder if they did that on purpose because of the South and having a hot cousin. I wonder if they did that on purpose.
I have no idea.
Well, you're from you spent time in South Carolina, so you should know.
Man, there's a lot of people with the same last name and living in one area. I'll tell you that right now. It's very strange.
You brought up a good question. It made me think a lot this week, and it's certainly a no. But your question was proposed to you from your aunt, and that is, are you being discipled?
Yeah.
And I'd ask myself, am I being discipled?
Yeah, I would say I got rebuked by my which you can get you know what I'm talking about.
Other than reading the Bible and
from
studying.
A place of love, absolute love. But yes, Kevin.
Other than studying or reading the Bible, I am not being discipled at this moment.
Yeah.
Which has...
Are you on the lookout for that kind of relationship?
When I heard that question and the way it was proposed to you, now I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've opened myself up to that just this week.
Cool. Good. And I am too. Obviously, like you said, James, Jesus is the ultimate. He's the one I follow. And, we say I'm the follower of the way or whatever. Jesus is my example. And I fall short every single day.
As we all do.
Right. And if you don't think you do, you're lying to yourself. But that's the example that is set for us, and we're all on our path. And it's a tough path to walk.
We'll look at it from a sports standpoint. In baseball, the goal is to win 162 games.
Right.
Has anybody come close?
Not even close.
Will they ever?
No.
Will they continue to try?
Absolutely.
Case closed.
Yeah. Yep. Some come closer than others, but every team that wins the World Series every year is a great baseball team.
Yeah.
And they don't, they might have won. What's the most a team has ever won? 100-something games, 110 games maybe?
120-something, I think. There was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a couple Yankees teams won something like that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Well, did anybody watch the figure skating, the free-form dance that Alyssa Liu did representing the United States?
I'm a straight American male, Kevin.
She's American, representing the United States.
I watched figure skating. I watched hockey.
Okay. You should probably watch the routine that she did.
Was she the one that was doing like ninja kicks and stuff and flipping? And I saw some chick.
No, it was graceful dancing while she was skating. And it won a gold medal for the United States for the first time in 20 years.
Oh, wow. Cool.
As a figure skater.
Is it on YouTube?
Yes.
Her routine? Okay, I'll watch it later.
One of the interesting things about it is she was a prodigy as a skater. Young girl, 5 years old.
She quit, didn't she?
She quit.
Yeah.
She quit at the age of 16. And the reason why she quit is it was taking over her life, and she just wanted to live her life. And that's what she did. And then she hits her 20s, and she realized that she loves to skate. So rather than being under pressure of, you got to do this to win the medal, she came in with a different viewpoint altogether, different mental state of, I'm doing it because I love it.
Wow.
And she won the gold medal. And when she won the gold medal, I can't remember if it was a statement after or during an interview, but she said, I don't care about the gold medal. What I care about is the fact that I was able to get on a stage and perform in front of people. And that's what I wanted to do. And whether I fell on my knees 17 times over my routine, it would not matter because I still got to perform in front of people.
Oh, okay.
And she had such a great attitude about her skating.
Yeah.
And it completely changes. She went into it without any stress.
She took the pressure off herself.
For the fun of
yes.
it.
And
right?
you have got to watch it and just see her face while she's skating.
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch, and no wonder she won the gold medal.
Oh, okay. I'll give it a watch. I support America, whatever it is. I was joking earlier. I have watched figure skating before. It's incredible, actually. I can't even ice skate at all. I can't go 3 feet on ice skates.
I don't remember the name of the movie. There's a movie where it was male, female coming together.
Yeah, we just watched that a couple months ago.
Where he's the hockey player. Yeah. Toe pick.
Yeah.
Toe pick. I like that movie.
That's how much I love my wife. I watch those movies.
I like the message in the movie.
Yeah, so we should always be looking out. And much like mentorship, they're going to come and go throughout our life, and one will show up when the time is right, but you have to actually be looking for it. Much like, Kevin, your daughter should be looking for a husband.
Well, you're right. You've got to want it.
Yeah.
In some way.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know,
Asking for advice is not mentorship.
no. Yeah. Any final words on that? I think you had the final words, Kevin. I think that was good. We are an hour 29 in, so let's finish this up with talking about somebody who passed away this week at 95 years old, Robert Duvall. He's been in a ton of great movies. Almost every movie he was in, you could say, is a great movie. Almost.
Yeah.
Some are not so great. Some he had very minor roles. Do you know he was in The Road? Remember that movie?
No, I didn't.
It's a Cormac McCarthy book that was.
Yep.
Viggo Mortensen was the main character about his son. It's kind of like a post-apocalypse type thing. Mm. But Robert Duvall had an extremely small part. He was just an old man that they met along the way on the road. And it was just a great character, great movie, even better book, obviously. All the books are usually better. But if you had to pick, let's say, top 3 Robert Duvall movies, what do we do, top 5? Top 5?
That's too many. I'll do 3.
3? Do you have 3 movies that stick out in your mind of that Robert Duvall that you were like, wow?
Yes.
Okay.
The Godfather.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now. And The Great Santini.
Yeah, The Great Santini was definitely on my list. That's a tough movie to watch as a father, like that father-son relationship that they had.
Mm-hmm. Bonking him on the head with the basketball.
Yeah. And then the ending is like, good luck making it through that without crying.
Yeah, well, the end of the movie is exactly how the movie started.
Yeah.
Driving in the middle of the night.
What about you? What's your, James, what do you got?
I'll take The Godfather and Apocalypse Now, but he had very minor roles in both those movies, which is fine because most of his movies, he was not the leading man. He was a supporting actor for the most part.
Yeah.
But where he was a leading man, my favorite movie was Open Road.
Open Range?
Open Range, thank you.
Boss Spearman.
Yeah, with Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
And he was the voice of reason to the very unreasonable Kevin Costner. Mm-hmm. Michael Gambon was in that movie too. Played a great part.
Oh, he was the bad guy?
Yeah, that was Michael Gambon.
Yeah.
And the only reason I remember that is Michael Gambon was the only person who almost died on an episode of Top Gear.
Yeah, and they named the corner after him.
They did. He almost turned a car over, and so they named that turn Gambon.
Oh, yeah, the Gambon turn. Great.
But Michael Gambon he was a horrible human being in that movie. And Kevin Costner was not much better. And Robert Duvall was the one who kind of tempered him down. Don't be like them.
Yeah.
And I still remember when he rushed the house and got gut shot. I just got shot in the gut. I'll be all right. Only shot in the gut and he'll be all right. But that was a Robert Duvall movie with Robert Duvall just playing Robert Duvall. He was very good in that movie.
There was a lot of characters that he played where it was the same character. It was just him.
Right.
And you can't really turn off reality that's not Robert Duvall.
Exactly.
Because he looks exactly the same. He never wore wigs or too much, like never dressed it up. It's just solid.
He was the type of actor that I liked. Mainly, I mean, there's Christian Bale. There's who's the guy who was in Last of the Mohicans? He's only made a handful of movies.
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis. Okay, Laurence Olivier, Marlon Brando. Robert Duvall was not one of those types of actors.
No,
but that's okay because everything you see him in, you like.
Yeah.
A lot of those other guys, especially Marlon Brando, more than half the movies I look at these. What the heck is this? It's not. This is not entertaining. So why would I want to spend time watching it? Well, it's a great acting. Okay, but it's not fun to watch.
But like he was in The Godfather and Apocalypse Now, both playing,
and he did very well in both of those.
Both characters were like extreme. Like, whoa, that's a creepy, like the one Apocalypse Now when that was like, that dude's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Like you could really tell, like he has lost his mind. That was good. One of my favorite Robert Duvall movies is Secondhand Lions. Have you seen that one?
No.
It's a typical Robert Duvall character. He's tough, brash, loudmouth, but it's where they're...
He was with another old man, wasn't he?
Yeah, Michael Caine.
Yes, Michael Caine,
and like their grandson comes to stay with them, and they're kind of like, they treat him like he's a full-grown man, but he's 8 or 10 years old.
Wasn't there a scene in a bar?
Yeah,
that's
okay. Now
I know the movie.
YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
That scene always pops up.
That's a great movie.
It's a
fun movie. But I was looking. He was in The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, Secondhand Lines, Days of Thunder. That was a good character.
That where he won his Academy Award?
He won.
He was the crew chief.
He was the crew chief for Tom Cruise.
Yes.
He won the Academy Award in Tender Mercies.
Tender Mercies, yes.
He was in The Apostle, which was, I think he was nominated there.
He directed that movie too.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
The movie Colors, you remember that? He was like the training officer. The Great Santini, Open Range, To Kill a Mockingbird. He played Boo Radley.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles Landed. I don't know what his character. He was Colonel Rat. I'm guessing he was a German colonel, maybe. But I want to watch that one. The Eagles Landed. He was in The Natural.
Yeah. He was a reporter.
A reporter. Okay.
Okay.
That's right.
I don't remember him. It was a small part, I guess.
He came and went throughout the entire movie.
Okay.
He's the one who exposed Robert Redford for who he was.
Okay. Yep. I remember. Thank you.
He was in Bullet, The Road, Civil Action, Gods and Generals, Crazy Heart, and many others. But one thing I noticed when I was going down his film, what do they call it, filmography? When you open up the movie and you hit cast, it has he's like always 5 or 6 lines down. He was always the 5th or the bottom line. And I don't know why, if that's just order of appearance maybe, or if they were doing it by alphabetical.
He wasn't the lead.
But he's usually not the lead.
Right. He played in a lot of supporting roles.
But a lot of the movies that he was the lead in, he got nominated for Academy Awards, but there was not that many of them. So, and I think it was because he wasn't the hunk.
Right.
He's bald, but he's had a certain appearance, certain type of presence on film, and he's always like the tough guy. So 95 years old is a good long life, man, and I hope he enjoyed it.
He served in the Army.
Did he?
He was an Army vet.
He went to high school in St. Louis. Did you know that?
Principia.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
We always have to mention that.
Okay.
Well, see, and that's the thing. His dad was a brigadier general.
Oh, okay.
In the Army. I'm sorry. He was a rear admiral in the Navy.
Rear admiral.
Is that right? Let me make it right. Yeah, his father was a rear admiral.
But he served in the Army?
No.
Robert Duvall?
Robert Duvall did.
Yeah.
Joined the Army, served a little over a year, post-Korea War.
Okay.
And I think he was in Ohio or something. Yeah, just
all right.
Did his service.
Well, went to we own him now because he went to high school in St. Louis, so he's one of us.
Principia High School.
That's what Caitlin is becoming a St. Louisan, so every time we see like John Hamm or somebody, I'm like, he's from St. Louis, she's from St. Louis. Well, you got to memorize these. You have to know.
What's the big St. Louis news this week?
Well, I don't know. I don't watch the news.
Boeing pulled out of Virginia, is relocating their headquarters back to St. Louis where it belongs.
That's a big deal.
That's huge.
Yeah, because the Secretary of War, Hegseth, was here on Wednesday to promote that, and also swore in 25 kids in the military.
That's great, man.
Recruitment thing.
Victory for St. Louis. That's good. We need it. We need more.
Yes, Boeing should have never left St. Louis to begin with.
No. Well, it was McDonnell Douglas, right? Then Boeing bought them out and then split everything out to different places.
So big win for St. Louis to bring Boeing back to its roots.
Just one more reason that we're going to get nuked along the first wave.
Yeah, we always were. That's fine.
I hope it lands on my face so I don't have to live in the aftermath. All right, final thoughts on this bourbon whiskey, gentlemen. What do you think?
Go, James.
I enjoyed it. Again, I'm not a big whiskey drinker, but I've sipped this throughout the podcast. It's enjoyable. To me, it's pretty sweet. Like I think I mentioned that I enjoy Maker's Mark. This kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Okay.
So
how many stars? 0 out of 5. 0 to 5, I should say.
I'm going to say 4, and I'm saying that because I don't know enough about it to make it a 5.
Okay.
And I haven't tasted enough bad stuff to make it less than that.
So a 4 to me says if you were looking for a bourbon and you walk down down the aisle and you saw this, you would say, "Oh, I know what this tastes like. I would enjoy to have this again."
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. 5 is like, I'm going to drive an hour away to get this specific bottle. That's kind of how I look at it.
And I'm willing to pay $100.
Yeah. And I don't know, how many 5s have we had? Maybe 2 or 3?
3 or 4.
3 or 4? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you have, Kevin?
I'm going 2 stars.
2 stars. Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't like it.
I do. However, I am, as we do more and more of these, this is show number 65. So we've gone through 65 different bourbons.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to start basing my ratings off of what I've had.
Okay.
And I am becoming more of a fan of a straight Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah.
And
Bit of a purist.
yes. And this is one that has been blended by 4 other bourbons.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do it themselves. It's coming from Bardstown. And that's fine. Everybody has their own way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I don't like it. But from that perspective, I'm going to maintain 2 stars.
You prefer a chocolate mousse, and this is a strawberry flambe.
I think it feels,
Kinda.
to me, it feels like they cheated a little bit. Like they didn't distill it themselves, put it in a barrel, age it, taste it all the time to try to get the flavor profiles they wanted, mess around with their mash bill and all that kind of stuff. So it takes kind of like the artisanship out of it, is what I would say. I agree with Kevin. 2 stars. It's drinkable. I'm not going to turn my nose up at it. I'm not going to pour it out, like we've done a couple others.
Mm-hmm.
I could sit and drink this and shoot pool or watch a movie or whatever.
This would be good for an old fashioned.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't even put this
No?
in an old-fashioned.
Really?
No.
Okay.
way.
Okay.
I think old fashions are disgusting, but
Old-fashions to me need a little bit
Higher
higher
rye.
proof
Okay.
bourbon than
But
what
this is 90-something proof.
That's the standard.
you got to go over 100.
The standard is 90, so 90.8, yeah.
Okay.
Is that yeah? What's the minimum?
I thought 86 was
80?
standard.
Well, 80 is
82?
Tennessee whiskey.
Okay.
Okay. For bourbon, there's a minimum though. Isn't
I
it?
don't remember it.
I thought it was like 82 or something.
I've been
84.
challenged too much this show.
Yeah. Come prepared next time, Kevin. I've heard that a time or two.
I need to do my certification to be a bourbon
Well,
steward.
that's the thing. We don't claim to be experts on anything. We're trying to learn through conversation on our show. We're just
You're learning through experience.
We're here to have
Yeah.
fun.
learning through experience. And honestly, bourbon or wine or food, it's whatever you like, man.
That's true.
You can't downgrade somebody because they enjoy one thing more than you or less than you. It's whatever you enjoy. It's subjective and it's all good.
And I enjoyed this.
Cool. Thank you for coming out. I know it's a bit of lots of turns to get here. It's kind of
That's okay. That's okay. If I have a phone, I can get. If I have a phone and an address, I can get here.
That's by design, James. I don't want my house easy to get to. That way I know you actually want to be here.
He didn't look at the back way to get in here.
No, I know the back way, man. Come on. I scouted it out.
I have too.
My escape route. Thank you for coming out, James.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it, guys.
We look forward to having you on again sometime soon.
Give me a little bit of advance
Hopefully
notice. I'll be glad to be
you
here.
can drive your project car over here one day.
Well, it drives now. I think
it
it
does?
drives. It doesn't have brakes though.
It
That's
drives,
what
but it
I'm
doesn't
trying
stop.
to. I'm trying to figure out the brakes. I have a mushy pedal, and I don't like that. So
Ooh,
that's where I am right now.
I guess, yeah, get that.
Put
straight.
all that work into it, and then you run into a wall or a ditch, and then then I cry.
Well, do you have a plan for what's next once this car is finished? Like
This car will never be finished.
No.
No, it's impossible. A car like this is never finished.
It's a legacy project.
And here's the thing: once I let's say I did finish it, then the first thing I worked on would break again.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's all the wood has to be redone.
No.
All the seats have to be
Finish
redone.
it, you don't do anything. You throw it on the auction block and let somebody
this
Jay Leno bid on it.
It's Mark 7s are cars that nobody wants. They're not a collector's item. I would never get a fraction of what the money I have. Forget my time. The fraction of the money I have into this, I would never get out of it. Yeah. This was Dad's car.
Okay.
That's why I wanted it. So I will never sell it.
Is he still coming to the shop and hanging out?
Not this winter, but neither have I, because I had shoulder surgery. I haven't worked on this dopey thing for 2 months. So almost 3. So yeah, he hasn't, but then it's wintertime. Who wants to come work on a car in the wintertime?
Right. No, not me.
Yeah.
All right. Kevin, any closing words? Or have
No.
you already said enough?
I've said enough.
Thank you for listening, folks. Don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, and all that junk. We're on Spotify, Facebook, YouTube. You can email us at showmemk@gmail.com. We would like to hear if you have a bourbon suggestion or a topic for a show, or you want to be a guest. Let us know, and we'll have you on. And that's all I have. Thank you for listening.
This is the end. Peace out.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Smells like